Welcome to NEXTGames HTMB series. This video covering Champion of the Dawn against Cait Sith on the normal difficulty. Now in this video, I'll go over the battle strategies I recommend for taking on Cait Sith on this difficulty, and then show you a battle example on normal with the final drop that was needed. Now I have already covered this HTMB in previous videos showing how to defeat it on the very easy and easy difficulties. On the very easy difficulty, it yielded no drops after 20 plus runs, so I changed things up and switched to easy, where I was able to get all drops with the exception of one within 20 runs. However, that last item still eluded me, so what I decided to do was try in the normal difficulty, and it ended up dropping right away, so I figured I'd go ahead and share the strategy that I used to get the last remaining drop on this difficulty. Now at its core, this fight seems quite simple, as Cait Sith really only has two abilities that will be used during this run. The first is Divine Favor, which will simply erase debuffs that are on Cait Sith. However, the second one is the most challenging one, and that is Level Holy, which will do between 0 and 10,000 damage. But the entire key to managing this fight is how you deal with this ability and keep your trust alive through it, so let's go ahead and talk about how we do that. The first and most important thing to remember is simply kill fast. Every few seconds that go by in this fight is another few seconds where he can use his holy ability and wipe out either yourself or one of your trust. Make sure that while you're killing fast, you're also keeping Migawari up at all times. I suggest using a tank, usually Arc EV, so that you can get in damage as quickly as you can. Cait Sith has a very fast attack rate, and with some of the buffs he gives himself, it gets even faster, which will make it so that you're spending a considerable amount of your time reapplying shadows as opposed to dealing damage. The next thing you want to keep in mind is to use Inin and Yang to make sure that your enmity is as low as possible to allow Arc EV to tank. Now, next we want to make sure that you're using Urine and Kaka, since your own buffs are one of the only few things you can do to control how much damage you deal in this fight. I also suggest using Berserk and Meekage to speed up the fight, and I find that Blade Shun works best with Hishi as your main weapon for damage. Simply spam Blade Shun and get that light skill chain damage, even though it's really frankly not going to do that much by comparison to your skill chain damage. You also want to keep in mind during this fight that at any time any of your trust can die. That's why you have about 5 minutes to finish off this fight, because as soon as your buffs start to wear, there's a good chance your trust won't be around to recast them on you. My recommended trust setup for this are Arc EV, Joaquin, Arcelia, Monburo, and Yoran Oran. Know that Omiya, Koru, and Yignis normally work just as well. They just have lower hit point totals, which make them a little bit more at risk. Now if your trusts start dying and you think you are in danger, pull to the starting ramp and use Majin Valkyrie. You can then get up, resummon your trust, and re-engage with Cait Sith, normally only losing 40% or so of its hit points. This is especially useful when using this strategy on the normal difficulty like we're doing here. Now if you are attempting this when there aren't any events going on, you can expect about a 20% success rate with this strategy. Now if you use this strategy during a trust hit point event, where the trust are automatically resummoned if they end up taking more damage than their hit point total one time during a run, then that will usually make it so that you have all of, or at least most of the trust alive at the end of this run, increasing your success rate to probably about 75%, I would say. Therefore, I recommend you really only use this strategy that I'm recommending here during those trust hit point events, when they will instantly be resurrected if they happen to take more damage than they have in hit points. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of this run, and thanks so much for watching, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy out there.